Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. This is where we cut through the noise and get to the good stuff.
That's right, no shallow end here. We are diving deep into some really interesting topics.
And today, we're tackling artificial intelligence, or AI for those in the know.
But not the AI you're used to hearing about. We're going beyond the hype, beyond the headlines, with this report called The Bright Side of AI.
Okay, Brightside already has me intrigued. So what's the angle here? What makes this deep dive different?
Well, it starts with history, believe it or not. The report makes this really interesting comparison between AI and, get this, the shipping container.
Wait, what, like the giant metal boxes on cargo ships?
The very same. Now, I know that sounds random, but stick with me. Before shipping containers, global trade was a logistical nightmare. Imagine trying to load and unload all those different goods from ships, each with its own packaging and handling requirements. It was slow, inefficient, and incredibly expensive.
Yeah, I could see how that would cause problems.
Enter the shipping container, a simple, standardized solution that revolutionized everything. Suddenly, you could move goods around the world with incredible speed and efficiency. And that's exactly what this report is getting at with AI.
So AI is like the shipping container of the 21st century.
Exactly. It's poised to be this quiet game changer, transforming industries from within. And just like the shipping container, its impact will be felt far and wide.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's be honest, when most people hear AI, they think robots taking over the world.
Yeah, I get that. Hollywood loves a good robot apocalypse. But the truth is, AI is so much more than just robots.
So if it's not about robots, then what is it really about?
It's about creating systems that can process information and make decisions. Systems that can analyze data, recognize patterns, learn from experience, and adapt to new situations. Basically, giving machines the ability to do things that previously only humans could do. But here's the key. Do them better, faster, more efficiently.
So it's like giving human capabilities a turbo boost.
Exactly. It's about amplifying our own abilities, helping us to solve complex problems, make better decisions, and ultimately improve our lives in countless ways.
I like the sound of that. All right, let's get into some specifics. One area where this report really caught my eye is healthcare. They're claiming AI could save the healthcare industry hundreds of billions of dollars. Is that even realistic?
It's a bold claim, I'll grant you that. But when you break it down, it starts to make a lot of sense. Think about all the time and resources that go into things like medical imaging. Radiologists spend countless hours poring over X-rays, CT scans, MRIs. It's incredibly time-consuming and often prone to human error.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Now imagine if we could use AI to automate some of that work.
Yeah.
And not just automate it, but do it even more accurately and efficiently than humans. That's what we're talking about with AI in healthcare.
So free up those highly skilled professionals to focus on the really complex cases. Makes sense to me.
And it's not just about efficiency. This report highlights AI's potential in predicting patient needs before they even become emergencies.
Now that's impressive. How does that work?
Imagine an AI system that can analyze a patient's medical history, genetic information, lifestyle choices, you name it. It could identify potential health risks early on, allowing doctors to intervene with preventative care. We're talking about catching diseases in their earliest stages or even preventing them altogether.
That's pretty incredible when you think about it. It almost sounds like science fiction.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the reality is this is happening right now. This report even talks about how AI is being used to revolutionize drug discovery.
Now that's an area I'm really interested in. Tell me more.
Well, imagine an AI system that can sift through mountains of genetic data, pinpoint promising drug candidates, and even identify new uses for existing medications. This could be a game changer for developing treatments for diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
That's amazing. But let's be real, not everyone's thrilled about the rise of AI. We've all heard the concerns about robots taking our jobs.
Sure, job displacement is a real concern. But what's interesting is this report actually projects that AI will add trillions of dollars to the global economy.
So which is it? Friend or foe? Will AI create jobs or destroy them?
It's not a simple either-or situation. The reality is it's both. Some jobs, particularly those involving repetitive manual tasks, will likely be automated. That's just the nature of technological advancement.
Yeah, that's the part that always makes me a little nervous.
I hear you. But here's the thing. AI is also going to create a whole new wave of jobs we can't even imagine yet. And these new jobs will require uniquely human skills, things like creativity, critical thinking, problem solving, emotional intelligence.
So you're saying it's less about robots replacing humans and more about us adapting and finding new ways to work alongside these intelligent machines.
Exactly. Think about it fields like management, education, design, anything that requires a human touch. These are all areas where AI can augment human capabilities, but not replace them entirely, at least not anytime soon.
It's like we're entering this new era of human-machine collaboration.
Precisely. But that means the job market is about to go through a major shift.
So what does this mean for our listeners? What do they need to do to thrive in this new AI-powered world?
It's all about adaptability and a willingness to learn new skills. Those who embrace change, who are open to acquiring new knowledge, and who are comfortable working alongside intelligent machines, those are the ones who will thrive in this new era.
It's definitely a lot to think about. I mean, adapting to a whole new way of working is no small feat. But this report isn't all just about the economic impact, right? They also dive into some of the ethical considerations surrounding AI.
Absolutely. And this is where things get really interesting. Because it's not enough for AI to just be powerful, it needs to be used responsibly.
I'm with you on that one. So how do we ensure that AI is used ethically?
Well, the report lays out a set of principles they call FAEs. It stands for fair, appropriate, valid, effective, and safe.
FAEs. Catchy. I like it. But what do those principles actually look like in practice?
Okay, so let's take transparency, for example. One of the key ethical considerations is ensuring that people know when they're interacting with AI.
So, like, if I'm reading an article online or watching a video.
Exactly. Companies should be transparent about whether that content was created by a human or by AI.
So, like, a disclaimer. This article was written by a bot.
Something like that, yeah. The idea is to give people the information they need to make informed decisions about the content they consume, and to ensure that AI is used in a way that's open and accountable.
Transparency makes sense. What other hurdles do we need to clear when it comes to AI?
Well, there are technical limitations to consider, like AI is only as good as the data it's trained on, so if the data is biased or incomplete, the AI's output will reflect those flaws.
Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. And then there's the issue of privacy. A lot of AI applications rely on vast amounts of personal data, so protecting that data is paramount.
So we need to find that balance, right, between encouraging innovation and safeguarding things like privacy and security.
Exactly. And that's where things get tricky, because there's no easy answer. It's going to require a multi-pronged approach.
Like what? Give us some specifics.
Well, for starters, we need smart, adaptable regulations. We need to create clear guidelines for how AI can be developed and used responsibly.
Regulations? Okay. But doesn't that risk stifling innovation? I mean, too much regulation can sometimes do more harm than good.
I hear you. But the right kind of regulation that's flexible, that's responsive to change, that's developed in collaboration with experts from industry and academia, that kind of regulation can actually foster innovation by creating a level playing field and building public trust in AI technologies.
Okay, that's a good point. So regulations are part of the solution. What else needs to happen?
We also need to develop robust ethical frameworks for AI development. Frameworks that are grounded in principles of fairness, accountability, transparency, and human oversight.
So it's not just about what AI can do, it's about what it should do.
Exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting for your listeners, because this isn't just some abstract philosophical debate. The future of AI is being shaped right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping that future.
You're saying it's not predetermined? We're not all just hurtling towards some kind of inevitable robot takeover?
Not necessarily. It all comes down to the choices we make today. The choices that governments make, that companies make, that individuals make those choices will determine the trajectory of AI.
So it's not a case of sit back and watch the robots take over. We actually have a say in how this plays out.
That's exactly right. The future isn't pre-programmed. It's being written as we speak. Yeah. And that's both exciting and, let's be honest, a little bit daunting.
For sure. But this report, it focuses on the bright side of AI. And I'm feeling optimistic, I have to say. The potential benefits are huge. But even they acknowledge there's a flip side. So put on your caution hat for a minute. What are your thoughts on how this whole AI thing could go wrong?
Well, that's the question, isn't it? Like any technology this powerful, there's always the risk of misuse. And it's not just about some rogue AI taking over the world, although, I'd be lying if I said that thought hadn't crossed my mind.
Okay, yeah, the sci-fi scenarios are definitely out there. But what are some more realistic concerns?
Think about bias, for example. If AI systems are trained on biased data, They can perpetuate and even amplify those biases,
Hmm.
which can lead to all sorts of problems, especially in areas like hiring, lending, even criminal justice.
Yeah, that's a huge concern. And a good reminder that AI at its core is still a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or for ill.
Exactly. So it's on us as a society to make sure that we're developing and using AI in a way that aligns with our values.
So, how do we do that? How do we ensure that AI lives up to its promise as this force for good?
Well, it's an ongoing process, but it starts with awareness. With people like you and me having these conversations, with folks understanding the potential benefits and risks of AI, and with demanding transparency and accountability from the companies developing these technologies.
So, it's not a one and done deal. This is a conversation we need to keep having as AI continues to evolve.
100%.
Yeah.
And that's where your listeners come in. The more informed we are as consumers, as citizens, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the challenges and opportunities that AI presents.
What's one tangible thing our listeners can do today to be more engaged in this conversation about AI's future?
For me, it comes down to staying curious. Ask questions, do your research, don't just accept things at face value. And if something doesn't feel right, if you're concerned about how a particular company is using AI, speak up. Your voice matters.
I love that. Stay curious, stay engaged, and don't be afraid to use your voice. This has been an incredible deep dive. I feel like we've just scratched the surface, but in a good way. It's clear that AI is going to be a defining force in the 21st century, and it's crucial that we approach it thoughtfully and ethically.
Couldn't agree more. It's an exciting time to be alive, and I, for one, am optimistic about the future. But it's up to all of us to make sure that optimism is well-founded.
Absolutely. A huge thanks to our expert for joining us today and for sharing their incredible insights. And to all our listeners out there, keep those questions coming and stay tuned for more deep dives into the world of tech and innovation. Until next time, stay curious.